Chapter 1. Juxtaposition. Appassionata by Beethoven is being played by a virtuoso pianist, as the sound of champagne glasses clinking, Armand de Brignac corks randomly getting popped, and the constant fake laughs between endless chatter atmospheres the luxurious penthouse nightclub on the roof of Le Champignon Hotel. This is a downtown hiding spot for the elite in Paris, the type of place you have to be born for to get in. But nobody has ever asked to be born. No one. Rich people try to make life seem worthwhile with the movies and music that they produce for the public, trying to put this hoax of a beautiful life in the minds of poor people just so they would work harder for them, virtual enslavement. But regardless, everyone wants to live, even the suicidal, trust me. The suicidal hate the way life feels, but they want to live the most, that they're ready to die just so they could feel alive. I mumble while twirling my glass of gin on the bar top. I guess I'm thinking out loud again. Look at everyone looking at me while avoiding eye contact, filthy rich people. One misconception poor people often have is assuming that the rich are smart. Not always. Look at this bar, for example. The owner has probably spent millions to build this penthouse tavern alone. Marble floors, handcrafted and decorated wood all around, exotic flowers, silk curtains, and expensive works of art all over the walls. All of this for a boring little club. The only thing these rich customers actually care about is the security guards at the door. I mumble again, slurring in my speech. When you're drunk and fed up, sometimes your thoughts escape through your lips. Look at the bartender looking at me all mean. What are you looking at? I ask the bartender, who just looks away as I down the rest of my drink. Another one. Good afternoon, Mr. Huffman. A well-groomed, middle-aged man in a fancy suit says, I remember using that name, but don't really remember who this man is. He is standing next to his young, tight, short skirt-wearing assistant with his hand on her shoulder. I don't remember him that well, but I sure do remember the ring he's wearing. Hey, how is the ring treating you? I ask. It's everything I've ever asked for, he says while ever so tenderly sliding his hand from his assistant's shoulder to her posterior. It's what they always say and what they always do once they put that ring on. I just nod him away as the bartender serves me my drink. Finally, there comes Noah, the star of the evening, my new assistant-to-be. Look at him trying to convince the security guards that he actually is invited in here with his styleless outfit, self-cut haircut, and off-brand watch. I have no idea how he even managed to get up here. They must not have seen him make his way into the elevator. Hey, hello, he's with me. Let him in, I say before the security guards throw him out. Hello, Mr. Martinez, I'm Noah Booker, Noah says while approaching me. Grab a seat. What do you want to drink? I say. Just water would do, Noah says after sitting down. Drunken Jesus Christ. Fuck that. Hey, get this boy an AMF, I shout while looking at Noah. This is one of the only places you can get that in Europe, I added. Okay, thank you, Mr. Martinez, Noah says. Mr. Martinez? Kids, never smoke weed before getting on LinkedIn. Call me Jose, I say, giggling, regardless to say I come up with the best pseudonyms ever. The pianist starts playing a neoclassical symphony that I have never heard before. You know what? I'm starting to like this place. There you go, Noah. Take a sip, I say as Noah's drink gets served, and he takes a baby sip. What a fucking princess. Take a real sip, boy. It's 9 p.m., I shout. To be honest, I'm starting to feel sloppy and irritated from all the drinks. I need to take a line to sharpen up. Gotta take a trip to the men's room. I want that drink gone by the time I come back, I tell Noah. He just nods his head in agreement as I get up. I walk inside the bathroom and immediately hear a slurping sound. I look under the stalls and recognize the shoes. The man with the fancy suit is standing inside with his assistant on her knees, apparently going down on him. I guess the ring is treating him well after all. You see, he knows exactly why he is in there. But her, well, she probably convinced herself that it's a fantasy that she just wants to live out. She may have a boyfriend that she loves, but she likes to believe that as long as he doesn't know, it won't hurt him. And as far as she's concerned, for her, it doesn't mean anything at all. It's just a thing. Who cares? I'm here to snort cocaine. I love luxurious bathrooms. It's like they were made for people to take lines. I'm back! I shout inside my stall before returning to my new assistant candidate. Look at him trying to chug the last third of his drink. MF stands for adios motherfucker. That was one drink that he shouldn't have downed so fast. He will regret that in a few seconds. How are you feeling, my man? I ask the poor thing. I'm good, he says. I can see him feeling all the alcohol hitting him. This will be fun. 2 gin and tonics, I whisper mockingly at the bartender. So tell me your story, young man, I say, turning back to Noah. Well, I was born in Manchester, moved here 3 years ago to get a master's in English literature, Noah says. An English boy moving to France to study English. A smart one, I must say. Not so smart, actually. Ever since graduating, I've been looking for something else to do here that's more interesting than the jobs my degree offers, Noah says. And that will be someone's assistant? I ask. I was looking for anything that would allow me to travel and see new things, Noah says. Why did you even get the degree then? You could have been doing this 5 years ago, I say. Being taken off guard, Noah stays silent for a few seconds, sipping his new served drink before answering. I wanted to be an author growing up, and I just found out that you don't really need a degree to be one. All you really need is something worth writing. So you're looking for something to spark your imagination, I ask. Exactly, you see, the years I have spent in universities have kind of destroyed that aspect for me, Noah explains. You have dreamt of writing adventure books, but you have spent more time learning how to write that you have forgotten how to be adventurous, I say. Noah looks at me with the glare of a date that is starting to feel like you're the one. Have you ever been through something similar? Noah asks. It was the opposite for me. I wanted to be a writer too when I was your age, but everyone told me I could never be a good one because I rarely read any great books. How can you be a writer? You have never even read The Great Gatsby, they said. For the most part, I read the same books over and over again. They are the best books that I have ever seen, but people thought that I was crazy. And why would liking particular books make you crazy? Noah asks. People cannot swallow that you're doing something differently, yet it's still working out good for you and even better than it's working out for them doing what they're doing, so they just call you crazy. You see, I have never read any fancy titled books. None of my leather cover books had any commercial value nor unique titles, even though they had the knowledge to unlock the mysteries of the universe, I state. I actually agree with you. I knew people who read books just because they have a complex-looking cover regardless of what is written inside. And most people nowadays don't even read much because they don't understand the fancy words and the complex grammar. And if you write in a dialect that everyone can follow, nobody will take you seriously regardless of what you have to offer, Noah says. I feel like you have spent your life following a dream only to get lost halfway through your path. You can see your dream on the horizon but can no longer find your path to reach it, I tell him. Noah licks his lips and locks eyes with me. I feel like I'm 20 years old again trying to make a girl fall in love with me just so I could get laid. How did you find your path? Noah asks. I didn't find it. It found me, I say. You think that mine will find me too? Noah asks. Amazing what alcohol can do to people. Lie and say that you can have this conversation with someone you met minutes ago without putting about 6 shots of alcohol in them first. Yes, you just need to learn how to attract it, I say. How can one learn how to attract his dreams towards him? Noah asks. Most people look outside to learn new things, but for one to learn how to get to his dreams, he must look inside, and for one to look inside, he must get lost on the outside. It's the concept of finding a path by losing one, a paradox that can only be understood once one gets lost seeking dreams. Noah looks at me, a little confused. I guess alcohol is not perfect after all. I've been lost for years, Noah says quietly. I know, and feeling lost is an unpleasant feeling, but it's the right place to be. For being lost is the first step to changing your life and becoming who you really want to be, I say. How can I become who I want to be when I don't even know where I'm standing right now? Artists paint it best on a clean canvas. If you want to be an author, you're at the right place to start painting that image. Just see yourself as an author already, address yourself as an author, think as an author, do what authors do, and the rest will naturally come to you, I explain. But I can't figure out what to write about, Noah admits. I'm a jeweler, not a writer. However, I believe that people who learn everything from books can never write a good one because everything they have to write about has already been written. They can write gorgeously but have nothing much to say, so they rewrite what they have read using even bigger words, doing nothing but encrypting the same ideas. If everything goes right tonight and you get this job, I will tell you a new story every day that you can use for your future books. Each story could be turned into a whole new original manuscript if you know how to write, and I'm damn sure you already know how to write just fine. I pat Noah on the back. We got a deal, Noah says without any hesitation, and we both shake our hands on it. We down our drinks and I order us another round. So, I have an important client coming in about half an hour from now. I'm drunk, so I'm going to tell you your first story, I say. I didn't bring any equipment with me. Can I take notes on my phone? Noah says sheepishly. Fuck no, this is your test. You have to memorize it, I exclaim. Okay, Noah says. Cool. As you already know, I'm a jeweler, and I personally specialize in making rings, I say. Noah just nods in acknowledgement. Okay, the story begins 2 years ago here in Paris. Wait, no, to be honest, it all began 4 years ago in Harlem, New York. Yeah, Spanish Harlem, there was this guy called Luca. The Latinos always made fun of him because in Spanish, Luca sounds like the feminine form for the word crazy, yet he was a 7-foot-tall Scandinavian scholar. Anyways, I made Luca a very special ring, a magical ring like the one Frodo had or some shit. But the ring Luca got from me possessed a different power. It swallows the ideologies, ideas, skills, and even the talents of anyone its carrier murders. I have to stop talking for a second and look at Noah looking at me as confused as hell when all the religious people show up. This will be fun. Noah continues to sip his drink. Let's just hope he doesn't black out before we're done. Anyways, I was talking with Luca once about this guy he had just killed. These are literally Luca's words, I say. Okay, says Noah as I clear my throat getting ready to start imitating some white upper-class man as I talk. He was a brilliant writer turned junkie, one who constantly tortured his mind thinking about some long-distance girlfriend he fell in love with, only for her to leave him for guys that he always saw inferior to him. It was a painfully destructive thought pattern that only faded once he started to feel stoned enough from the weed that he rolled as soon as he got home from work. As soon as he got high enough, his brain started to slow down enough for those ideas to fade away, and he started to think about all the great things that he could achieve, but by then he was too high to do anything. He tried to write, but doesn't manage to write more than a few sentences before he started watching porn for no reason but to get a higher dopamine rush. He started masturbating, drinking, and smoking cigarettes. The idea that the girl he loved, yet he never touched, was probably naked in bed with her legs spread wide open for someone else would often creep up on him, pushing him to rush to a brothel where he would feel masculine again, now that he also had some random woman that he paid, under him with her legs spread wide open, and by the time he managed to finish off, he was often too wasted to feel anything. He ordered junk food and ate, then finished his weed and alcohol as he passed out asleep, just to wake up at 5 in the morning to smoke a cigarette before going back to work. A prison where he spent 8 to 10 hours every weekday working and drinking coffee and cigarettes on the 10-minute breaks. He got every 2 hours until his mind started the same painful thought patterns again. Every day was the same except for the weekends, which were his cocaine binge days with his other junkie friends. Snorting lines and smoking doped-up cigarettes. A binge that lasted from Friday evening to Sunday morning when he started to feel too coked up and started smoking weed again to come down and sleep on his dirty bed that was surrounded by hundreds of empty bottles of alcohol. It had been this way for a while now, and not to forget those opiate abuse seasons he went through every time his trigeminal neuralgia decided to pay him a visit. Always looking sick, faking smiles, and joking around to change conversations. Everyone who cared for him saw him slowly killing himself, but every time someone tried to help him, he just pushed them away. What a fucking waste to know that I'm talking about a mastermind, a man with the ability to write masterpieces if he took it seriously once again, A man who could better humanity only if he tried. What a waste of a gift. A chosen one who chose to throw it all away? I say, realizing that I have to finish my drink. Cocaine really fades out quickly. According to Luca, he didn't deserve to live. He had to go. Luca did it for him, and he did it for everyone else. His gift had to be passed on to someone else, someone who can handle it. I explain as a woman wearing a fancy dress passes by. Beautiful, yet nothing really special about her. But for some reason, Noah loses all his focus and starts following her with his eyes. She walks away to a table where the man with the fancy suit is sitting. Apparently, his assistant has left when I wasn't paying attention. I get it now. Here, wear this, I say while handing Noah a black ring. He grabs it and puts it on without taking his eyes off of the woman. As soon as he puts the ring on, he starts to blink rapidly before looking back at me. He's free of the curse. I should have given him that ring as soon as he walked into this place. So, Noah, do you know why Luca even bothers to explain why he killed that man? I ask. To justify his deed, he answers. Yes, but not really. He killed many before and didn't care. The mistake Luca made was that he kept killing anyone that seemed interesting, but not everyone was what they seemed. The ring kept swallowing lower-class people's ideologies, and soon enough, Luca's own mind was poisoned with empathy, poor morals, and slave-like ethics. Even though he killed everyone for his own gain, after a while he had to talk himself into believing that those people deserved to die. In reality, that wasn't really why he was killing them, but he killed too many weak people that instead of the ring making him stronger, it was making him weaker to the point where he needed to constantly make himself feel good about the evil shit that he was doing, I say before looking at my watch. My new client will be here soon. I better wrap this story up. Anyways, 2 years ago, Luca moved here to Paris. He eventually realized that he should start feeding off people with more complex ideologies, but it was just too late. If you make a shit pie, topping it off with chocolate won't change much. In the first few days, he went and killed some logical thinker and got stuck with the idea that no matter who he kills, he's still a murderer, and murderers deserve to die. So, if he really kills people who should be dead, he should kill himself. I visited Luca a week after he moved to Paris and found him dead in his apartment. He hung himself in his own closet, I added. I pull out Luca's ring and spin it on the table, then grab my drink to finish it. Look at this glass. You can fill it with gin or you can fill it with piss. This ring could have made Luca the most powerful man on this earth, but instead it killed him, I say. Noah takes a second to take everything in as I finish my drink. This has been better than anything I have ever learned in university. It's such a bizarre fictional story, but I understand the lesson behind it. Luca's ring is the human mind, and the people Luca was killing are the people we hang out with. Our company can either make us stronger or bring us to our demise, Noah says. My client will be here at any moment. I better go snort another line before he shows up. Good job. Order us another round. I'll be right back. And in the meanwhile, think about this. If you look deeply, are you seeing the bigger picture or the opposite? I tell Noah. I walk out of the bathroom with sparkling eyes. There he is, my client, looking left and right until he sees and recognizes me right away. Mr. Bates, he calls me. Noah looks at him, confused, thinking that he called me the wrong name. I just walk towards my client and grab Luca's ring that was still on the bar top next to Noah on my way. Thank God Noah didn't wear it. Here it is, I tell my client. He goes to grab it and I close my fist on it. Oh yeah, right, my client says before handing me a briefcase he was holding. I put the briefcase on the bar top and open it. It's full of money. Noah looks at the money, mesmerized. I don't really need to count it. It looks about right, and to be honest, no one dares to fuck with me. Fair enough, I say before handing my client his new ring. I down my drink and then put some money under the empty glass. Come on, Noah. Let's leave, I say, walking away with the briefcase in my hand. We step into the elevator and Noah is still processing everything, but a few things are not sitting well with him. Why did that man call you Bates? Noah asks. I told him my name is Bates, I say. Why? You see, names are meaningless. You can tell people your name, but then behind your back, they just call you what they see you as. You're a boss, an employee, a husband, lover, friend. Most people just call me asshole. So instead, I use different names with different people based on how I have met them. That way, based on how they address me, I know what kind of relationship I've had with them, I say. Noah stays silent for a second, then remembers the ring I gave him. Why did you give me this ring? A few years back, a man came to me and asked me to make him a wedding ring, but he didn't just want any wedding ring. You see, as soon as women see a wedding ring on a man, they lose interest. He wanted a ring that will do the opposite, a wedding ring that will make him irresistible to women, and I gave him what he wanted. The only thing he didn't know is that wedding rings come in sets. The same ring he got his wife got, and the same powers he possesses his wife possesses well. So while he's out there doing what he's doing, his wife is also out there doing the same things, I tell him. What does that have to do with my ring? He asks. These kids never understand on their own. The woman you couldn't take your eyes off of was his wife. The ring I gave you shields you from the powers of any ring I have ever made, I answer him while he continues to look at me, all confused. Or maybe you were just drunk when you saw her and the alcohol got the best of you. When I gave you that ring, you snapped back out of it. It's whatever you choose to believe, I say. Noah keeps quiet. I guess it's just too much for him to swallow for now. The elevator finally reaches the ground floor, and as we go to step out, a man wearing a turtleneck shirt steps in, blocking our way. Excuse me? I say, trying to get out of the elevator, but the turtleneck-wearing bastard just keeps looking at me silently. I grab Noah's hand and push the bastard out of the way to get out before the elevator doors close. Finally, we make it outside of the building to the cold Paris streets. In front of the hotel, I see a homeless man. I give him the briefcase and he opens it. He sees the money, then gets up and runs away. This was a sobering moment for Noah. I pull out a cigarette and light it up. So what now? Noah asks, but as soon as he finishes his words, a body slams dead on the asphalt street and everyone starts screaming. It's my new client from a few minutes earlier. He jumped out of the penthouse window. What the fuck? What the fuck? Noah screams. I walk towards the dead body with its brains splattered all over the ground. What the fuck is going on? Noah asks me, all paranoid. I pull Luca's ring off of the dead man's finger and put it in my pocket. Did you forget the ring still has Luca's collected ideas inside? Anyone who wears it won't be able to fight those ideas. Anyone who wears the ring will be forced to kill himself, I say calmly. That was real, Noah says before starting to puke out all the alcohol he drank. He finishes puking, then stands up, breathing heavily. I pull out 2 white rings. I put one on and offer the second one to Noah. This ring will protect you. If anything hurts you, this ring will keep you safe. If you still want the job, I promise you that nothing bad will ever happen to you. Or again, you can choose to believe that this man has paid all he had and bought that ring to propose to his girl, and she just called him and told him that she's leaving him for someone else, and he couldn't take it, I say. Then I hold the white ring closer to Noah. It's all up to you. You can either choose to believe that this was just a crazy night full of coincidences and that I'm just trying to make everything seem deeper than it actually is, or you can wear this ring and I'll show you how fascinating this world actually is, I say. Noah slowly steps away from me and stands in the hotel doorway. I take a deep breath and calm down before walking closer to Noah and putting my hand on his shoulder. Listen, kid. I once visited a group of Navajo Native Americans to learn some ancient knowledge from some of the elders that still carried the old teachings of their tribe. When I was first invited to their home, I was still unaware of how to be polite in their culture, so I just stood at the doorway waiting as everyone looked at me. I introduced myself, then an old man got up and told me something I never forgot. He told me that a man should never stand at an open door. You either go inside or you just stay outside. When you stand at the door, you're doing more harm than good. For the most part, you're blocking the doorway on everybody else, you're not fully aware of what's happening on either side, and any good you have to offer you could deliver more efficiently if you first step in or step out. I never forgot that lesson because I find that the same concept goes for many things in life, You either go all in or you just go back to doing whatever you were doing. Noah looks at me in my eyes, but nothing like he has looked at me all night. For once, he looked at me like he actually believes. I offer him the ring again, and he slowly picks it up and puts it on. I hope you have a passport. We have a plane to catch, I say. Chapter 2. A Halfway Flight. Business class, it's like first class with fewer fake rich people. No trust fund babies, no overnight celebrities, just rich people who are serious about their money. Do you know why they give you your own private area in first class? Sometimes even a cabin to yourself, but never so in business class? It's because the people's safety in business class is more important than those in first class. Business class is designed for people to survive and escape rapidly in case of an emergency. While as expensive as those little private cabins in first class look, they only guarantee you being stuck in case of a crash. But who cares anyways? At the end of the day, poor people would say that both classes arrive at the same time as economy. What are we going to the United States for? Asks Noah after he finishes going through everything on the seat display. And the United States? We're not going to the United States, to be honest, but he doesn't need to know that right now. We're going to the Devil's Palace, chill for a while, talk a little, drink. You know the drill, I tell him. The devil lives in America, Noah asks. Not the America everyone knows, but yep, he has an awesome place there. Best place you could ever go to, great decor and anything you could ever desire, I say. Do you worship the devil? Noah asks. Well, Noah, worshiping is very complex as our society looks at it nowadays. I love how the old Berber people of North Africa summarized it back in the day. It's very simple, to be honest, I tell him. The stewardess finally makes her way to us with that lovely card I solemnly adore. Anything to drink? The stewardess asks. My eyes have already answered her question. Give me 10 of those baby cognac bottles and 2 glasses, I say rapidly. My pleasure, she says while handing me my poison. And yes, you can do that in business class. Mamona knows God and God knows Mamona, I say. What? Noah asks, confused. There was a woman called Mamona back in the day in northern Morocco, and she was from a Berberian tribe, so she couldn't speak Arabic, but she was a Muslim. However, her lack of knowledge of the Arabic language made it impossible for her to pray to Allah like it was instructed in the Quran, so instead every morning she used to kneel for hours and repeat the same sentence. I put my hands up to the sky. Mamona knows God and God knows Mamona, I shout. Everyone in business class looks at me. I just ignore them and go back to Noah. That's all it is, my friend, to believe in something to the point that you feel like you know it and it knows you, to put it at a higher place, fear it and respect it with all your heart and soul, and hope that it would in return help you out to reach your desires. If that isn't what pure worshipping is, then shit, I don't know, I say. Noah keeps quiet while playing with the bottle I handed him. Following this concept, we can realize that people worship many things. Some women worship their men, some men worship their women, some kids worship their parents, employees their employers, and citizens their countries. It's all about putting something at a higher level and praying that it would help you out, I say before pouring my cognac into the glass and holding it close to my face. Look at this drink. I know it, and I like to believe that it knows me. I love it. I fear it. But mostly I respect it, and in return it helps me tolerate people. You could say that I worship alcohol, I add before taking the first sip. This will be a long fucking flight. Shit, almost forgot. Noah, put this on, I say before handing him a blue ring. What does this one do? Noah inquires as he grabs it. It will keep you above the water if this plane crashes. I just don't trust planes, I say. He puts it on without hesitation. Actually, planes are very safe. It's just that I know that this particular one will crash because I will make it do that. Sometimes if you want something so bad it happens, you can stop a bus at a different stop if you really wanted to, or just make it take a different road. Once you understand how that works, you can even make a plane land exactly where you want it to. You can get aboard a plane going to Germany and make it take an emergency landing in France. All you need is the universe by your side. I do it all the time. But this time I'm going somewhere that doesn't even have an airport. Shit, I don't even like airports, to be honest. You have to stand in line and they take away your alcohol only to sell it to you for a higher price once you get aboard. Like, how the fuck am I going kidnap a plane with a bottle of Smirnoff? A few hours go by then. Please put on your seatbelts, we have turbulence ahead, says the pilot. Perfect. Let the party begin. I hand one of the 4 full cognac bottles I had left to Noah and open the other 3 and drink them at the same time. Drink yours, I tell Noah. He goes to put on his seatbelt first. Fucking rookie. Don't do that. Trust me, boy, don't put on your seatbelt, I tell him. On the screen in front of me, you can see the plane changing its path, escaping the bad weather and heading directly into the Bermuda Triangle. Nobody pays attention. Apparently, nobody recognizes the Bermuda Triangle unless you draw a triangle on it. Sir, you need to put on your seatbelt, says the stewardess. I put on my seatbelt and so does Noah. The turbulence starts to get worse. Some people start to scream. Noah, remember your new ring. I need you to close your eyes. Whatever happens, whatever what you hear, keep your eyes shut, I tell Noah. To be honest, I really don't understand Noah. Lately, he really keeps put. Few words to say, always observing. He has the potential to be great. All we can do is wait and see. People start screaming even louder and, oh well, there he is, the legendary Andras himself. A 20-foot-tall demon with a raven's head and angel wings holding his shiny sword while flying on the side of the plane. No wonder people are screaming. Andras looks at me through the window. What it do, my man? I mutely shout at him. As soon as I close my lips, he picks his sword up high and slams it down, blowing the plane's left wing in half. Here we fucking go. Oh yeah, scream you motherfuckers. Scream, Noah, I say as Noah finally forgets everything I said and opens his eyes and screams as loud as he can. He doesn't know what happened. All he knows is that we're going down. It's crazy how fast people accept death. After a few seconds, most people stopped screaming, including Noah. Some held their loved ones' hands. Others started praying, and anyone who lived for a meaning or in search of it suddenly became calm. Only those who lived to live continued to scream. Fascinating how life is, and finally the inevitable happens. The plane crashes into the water as hard as you could imagine. Physics is a bitch, and as you already guessed, only me and Noah survive. Our rings keep us above the water as we break through the plane as it blasts into thousands of pieces that slowly drown into the ocean's depths with everyone else on it. Noah gets up and stands on the water that is so calm it looks like a mirror reflecting the dark clouds surrounding the heart of the Bermuda Triangle. It's like there is a dome of clouds and bad weather shielding this place from the rest of the world. Noah looks at the remains of the plane, the corpses and the body parts slowly drowning in front of him. He looks at me and without saying anything, he collapses on the water, fully passed out. Come on, man. This was going to be the coolest part yet. Do you know what you're about to miss? We were going to walk on water like Jesus and stuff. Do you even understand the irony of this and you choose now to pass out? Fuck you, Noah, fuck you. I shout after realizing that I'll probably have to carry him all the way. I look around and see the door to the Devil's Palace far ahead. I put Noah on my shoulder and start walking. Chapter 3, The Alchemist. Maybe bringing Noah here was a bad idea. It has been 10 hours since I put him in a bed here at the Devil's Palace and he's still sleeping. I see him sometimes opening his eyes, then forcing them back shut to go back to sleep. It's like he's trying to escape the nightmare that is his current reality in the darkness of sleep. But eventually he had to give in. Where are we? Noah asks after finally opening up his eyes completely. We're finally where we're supposed to be, I say. How powerful are these rings? Will I get in trouble for wearing them? He asks. There are 2 types of rings, fed rings and feeding rings. Some rings demand a sacrifice to be made, and others constantly take things away from you as you use them. Both the rings you have on are already fed. They won't hurt you in any shape or form, I say. Why did you choose me? Noah asks. The real question is, why did you come? The job description required constantly traveling with a famous jeweler. You seemed so eager to escape Paris. Even after what happened at your interview, you still wanted the job. Somehow it felt like you wanted to escape even more after realizing that there is way more to this world than the eye can see. You wanted to escape your old boring life. I don't know why, but you seemed exactly like what I was looking for, I say, taking the last sip of my drink and lighting a cigarette. I have no one. My father left my mother before I was even born. My mother never even told me his name, and to be honest, I don't even want to know anymore. I don't care. My mother was never there either. She was always working or trying to date men who eventually left her after finding out that she had a son. I think deep down she always blamed me for her loneliness, even though she never admitted it. And then one day she left for work and never came back. A truck went out of lane and drove right into her car. I know it sounds like a poorly written origin story, but it is what it is. I never really think much about it. I remember not feeling anything when I got the news that my mother passed away. I was always alone anyways, Noah explains. I'm so sorry, Noah, I say. I never understood people. They smile in my face, then laugh behind my back. Even the girls I date eventually start treating me differently once they find out that I am an orphan. After a while, you start to feel worthless, says Noah. If only he could understand how much we have in common, but we're not here to compare our suffering. This one is for him. Remember the writer Luca killed? If you keep blaming people for the hardships you face in life, eventually you'll burn your mind away. Blaming anyone never changes a thing. For instance, some cultures blame women, others blame men. But in all cultures, men and women blame each other, even though genetically they can't exist without one another. In reality, we are just people, Noah. Once you flesh it all out to the core, you'll realize how much we are similar. We keep talking about how different we are from one another, but if we invest the same time to talk about how similar we are, we will realize that we are completely and truly the same. We all just need to stop trying to control each other and just learn to live together, because as long as everyone keeps trying to play games and use one another, we as people will never go forward. All are smart and all are dangerous, but also all are innocent and all are lovely. Whatever happens in life just happens. You can't make everyone do the right thing. Just make sure to do the right thing for you. And if anyone stands in your way, just walk around them, and if they still try to hold you, then push them away. It's not that difficult. I guess so. Why would I blame anyone? It's just the way life is, the way it has always been. I guess that nobody waters a tree with no roots. Well, if I have no roots, then why would I stay at the same place? I hope that answers your question, Noah says. I appreciate you opening up to me. Most people will not tell you this, but remember, you should never let people know who you are before you are sure they won't use what you tell them to hurt you. There is a way to know if someone will hurt you before they do, and it's very easy to learn but hard to practice. It takes a little bit of time. You see, people often think that they're smarter than the ones around them. The smartest people are the easiest to fool once you learn how they operate. Just talk to them and pay attention to what they pay attention to. Most learn to read people's body language and use it to guess what is important to them and what's not. They read a few psychology books or just learn the same methods from experience and then start fishing for what they could use to know people, control them, hurt them, or even destroy them if necessary. If you want to protect yourself from such people, you need to learn their methods and master your body language to the point where you can mask your expressions from them. I can tell you something that means nothing to me and make you believe it is a secret that defines who I am. Later, I'll put you in a position to use that against me. If you do so, I know that you're someone that I shouldn't truly open up to. Everyone sees me as some wise, tough-to-get-to man, but in reality, I'm just a kid. But the kid I truly am, I have to protect. Once the kid inside dies, a man becomes nothing but a shadow of himself. Never let someone kill the kid inside of you. Always protect him. Because the most beautiful thing in life is finally finding someone with whom that kid can safely and comfortably come out. Someone who's also comfortable letting the kid inside them out with you, because kids never hurt each other. But in the search for that person, you have to be careful. If you open up to the wrong person, that kid might die, and with him, every chance of ever enjoying life goes away. When you lose the kid inside, you become nothing but a ghost roaming in limbo. I really don't care, to be honest. There is nothing left for someone to destroy. I don't need no one and nobody needs me, Noah says. It's not about needing someone. If you feel like you need someone in your life, then that is not the right time for you to look for someone. Finding the one is not hard. People are just often not willing to do the work. Nothing is already out there waiting for you. You need to swallow that fact. It takes work. There are amazing girls out there who will treat guys like they deserve to be treated, and there are amazing guys who will treat these women right, love them and respect them, treat them better than they think that they should be treated. However, most are often scared because girls often hurt these guys and vice versa. Some guy shows up and hurts a girl and then she rushes into the next relationship still traumatized. Naive, she thinks it will help her move on, but every so often she ends up hurting the next guy herself, and then the guy does the same thing to the next girl. It's an endless circle of people hurting each other because they didn't take time to heal. All it takes to be happy in a relationship is to break that circle. All it takes is for someone to take his time to heal, grow, and mature, then find someone new when they're ready to approach a relationship differently. All one needs is to find someone that isn't willing to hurt them, and when they find one, they should make them feel purely safe so that they can open up and lift their guards off together with no risk of being hurt, so they can comfortably be able to really enjoy life. Life is very simple, Noah. We just like to complicate it because we want everything right when we want it, while most things take time to prosper, I say. Why does everything need to turn into a deep monologue with you? Noah asks. You're the one looking too deep. We're just talking. Sometimes looking deeply only makes it harder to see the bigger picture. Sometimes it's easier to take a step back and look from afar to see that there is more to it than all the little details, I say. I don't know what I'm looking at anymore, Noah sighs. Forget everything for now. If you still want to work for me, my friend, I'll teach you how to water your own damn self and blossom into something that no one would have ever thought you could, I say. I'm in too deep to quit now anyways. I just wanted to sleep all of the alcohol off. To be honest, the last 2 days were the best days of my life. On the edge of death, for once, I felt alive. Now we're talking. That's the spirit, my boy, and good strategy getting that rest. You can't even imagine some of the alcohol they have here. We're about to get wasted off the spirits of the spirits. I say before throwing the covers off of Noah, come on, it's time to visit the alchemist. The alchemist? Noah asks, confused. We walk out of the bedroom into Satan's great hall. You can see every demon and marquis of hell in here just chilling, catching a vibe, drinking and talking. Nobody pays us much attention as we make our way through. Let's get us a drink, I say. Noah just follows me to the wine room without saying a thing. How big is this place? Noah asks. I have no idea. I've never managed to explore the whole place, and from the outside, the Devil's Palace is just a door with no hinges. If you try to open it by force, it falls on you and crushes you, but if you knock on it, you get invited inside, I say. We make it to the wine room and start walking through the shelves. I often prefer hard alcohol, but when you're at Satan's, you have to drink wine. This is the only place where you can drink real wine. It's all they drink here. The sulfur content just reminds them of the fire and brimstone in hell. I grab an old wine bottle from the infinite wine shelves. You see this right here, Noah? This is older than the Speyer wine bottle, I say before pouring us 2 cups. Yes, cups. Only middle-aged women drink wine from glasses. Men either use cups or drink it straight from the bottle. Take a sip, I say. Noah takes a sip and starts coughing. It's an acquired taste. You'll get used to it, I add. I don't think I want to get used to this, says Noah. Kids nowadays never appreciate the good stuff. How's your Latin? I ask him. Latin? Who speaks Latin? He asks. The alchemist does, I answer. I pull out a gray ring and hand it to him. Wear this. When you have this one on, if anyone speaks to you in a foreign language, you'll hear it as your native language, and if you speak to anyone in a language that they don't understand, they'll hear it in their native language. This will help you communicate with anyone you want to, I explain to him. Noah puts on the ring. How old is the alchemist? Noah asks. I don't know how old the alchemist is, but what I know is that what he stands for is older than the word itself. You mean the world? Noah asks. No, I said the word. Before the world, there was the word, and before the word, there was a will. The will that started from nothing, the will to be something, the will that kept getting stronger and stronger until it vibrated. The first vibration that also kept getting stronger until its frequency created a sound. The sound of the word, a sound that echoed through what was nothing, turning it into something that kept expanding with an echo. While at the center, the frequency of the vibration continued to evolve and evolve until it became an energy so powerful it blasted the universe we know today into existence. Everything started with a vibrating, and everything you see around you right now still vibrates. The same will that started this universe is within and all around you. That will is what the alchemist has mastered. The will to make things come true, I explain. Noah downs his wine and I pour him a new cup. You never told me why we came here in the first place, Noah says. Oh shit, I actually never did. Have I really been this drunk the whole time? I truly forgot. I thought you'd figure it out, to be honest. We're here to make a new ring, the hardest ring to make, but I think that with your help and the alchemists, we can forge it, I say. Well, to be really honest, I don't know if this is going to work, but this is the only way possible to fix everything, and we're already here, so why the fuck not? Finish your wine. We need to go see him, I tell Noah. We walk towards the alchemist's room. The huge doors open as soon as we approach them. He's expecting us. We walk into the room and I can see that Noah is getting scared, but he keeps put, and there he is, the alchemist himself, standing in front of a boiling bowl of fire. What's up, my friend? I shout. Heaven, says the alchemist. What's going down? Mankind, I say, and the alchemist laughs. Isn't it the man with the many names? The alchemist says, still looking at his bowl, never looking at us. Finally back, my friend, I say. My favorite forger. So, what brings you here today? The alchemist asks. I'm here to try and forge it, I say. Forge it? The alchemist asks. Yes, it. The alchemist walks up slowly towards us, pulls out 3 huge bowls out of his cloak, then puts them on the ground in front of us. He fills the first one with gold, the second with silver, and the third with iron. Then he tops all 3 of them with sulfur. What else do you need? The alchemist asks. I pull out an old folded paper from my pocket, then open it up and read it out loud. A tear of joy from a heartless whore, a sin from a child that crawls on 4, and the last piece of bread from a man starving and sore, to make a ring that was never made before, and no one will be able to make anymore. Fuck, I forgot how complicated this was. You will need a few portals, I see, the alchemist says. Ask and you shall receive, he adds. Oh shit, everyone is a whore but who still sheds a tear of joy. All adults sin but children only make mistakes, and a starving man never shares his last piece of bread. Fuck it. Give me Barcelona, Kyoto, and Lagos, I say. The alchemist moves his hand and 3 doors appear in front of us. This is what I fucking live for. Noah, quick! Grab us another bottle of wine. We're going to Spain, I announce. Chapter 4. La Rumba Catalan. I walk out of the magic portal with a bottle of wine in my hand directly into the left-top tower of the Basilica de la Sagrada Familia. The alchemist, you bastard. But then, to be honest, if you could portal into anywhere in Barcelona, where else would you want to portal to? This is fucking perfect. Look at Noah walking in after me. He has no idea where he is. Do you have any idea where we are? I ask him before taking a sip from the wine. Barcelona, he says. Poor thing. Yeah, but does he even know? I take another sip, then hand him the bottle of wine before walking to the window in front of us and sitting on its edge, looking upon the vast view of the rebel city. Noah takes a sip from the wine before walking to the window and looking outside. Shit, Noah exclaims. He has no idea how lucky he is. Sit down, I tell him. He sits down so we're both looking outside next to each other. How are we going to get out of here? He asks. Don't worry about that right now, I say. He takes another sip of wine, then hands me the bottle. How are we going to find what we need? Noah asks. I grab the bottle from him and take a sip. We won't find it, it's going to find us, I say. I look over at the city of Barcelona for a while. The law of attraction, what you truly want will eventually come to you. Okay, Noah says, confused. Back in 2015, a group of refugees walked into a bar in Cologne, Germany. 4 of them spoke a little German, or at least some English. But with them was this man who only spoke Arabic. He spoke no English, no French, only Arabic. All his friends got to the bar and started talking to girls and stuff, but he couldn't do anything much. All he knew was how to drink, so he did that. He sat down and ordered his first beer, then the second, then the third, while this beautiful blonde woman sat next to him. He didn't even bother to look at her. As far as he was concerned, there was no possible way for them to communicate. Many men, including his friends, tried to approach her during the night, but she turned them all away. Our guy never really paid attention. All he focused on was the beer in front of him and the rhythm of the music that he couldn't understand the words to. He ordered his 4th beer and then the 5th and then the 6th, and the music started to take control of him, so he got off his chair, closed his eyes, and started to dance. He had never danced to such music before, so he just followed the beat and swayed in any direction that the music pushed him to. He swayed to the left, and he swayed to the right, and when he felt the drums bouncing, he threw his fists in the air to the rhythm of the bass. While he was dancing with his eyes closed, he accidentally hit the woman on her shoulder. Not much of a hit, to be honest. It was just a light tap. But the woman, who was already frustrated with all the previous men hitting on her, went off on him, calling him all types of things. The man opened his eyes and looked at her. Still, he couldn't understand a thing she was saying. All he saw was an angry woman. He knew that he accidentally hit her. It was his mistake, so regardless of how she yelled at him, he just genuinely apologized by putting his hand on his heart and bowing down. The woman never saw a man behave like that in a bar, especially a man that drunk, so she got curious, I tell Noah. I take a sip of the wine, then hand it to him. What did she do? Noah asks. She couldn't do much, to be honest. She asked him if he spoke German, and he shook his head no. French? No. English? No. But no matter what, he always kept a respectful smile on his face as he looked at her. They locked eyes for a while. They craved a conversation so badly, but they couldn't communicate. However, on the other hand, one other thing the man didn't stop doing the whole time was rocking back and forth to the music, so the woman started to do the same thing, playfully mocking him. The man's smile got wider as he started to dance like he did before he hit her. The woman laughed and then grabbed his hands as she slowly taught him how to dance. They never said a word to each other, they just smiled as they danced through the night. The man would do a funny move so the woman would laugh, and then she would do a funny move for him to laugh. They didn't care who watched. They created their own universe. They danced slow and fast, and when they got tired, they just stood there and held hands. And by the end of the night, they both figured out that their lips were no good for talking, so instead they kissed to put a meaningful ending to a magical night. Noah takes a sip of wine, then hands me back the bottle. I look over at Barcelona for a while. You can hear a hypnotizing guitar melody being played by street performers. After that night, nobody saw that man again until 5 years later when his friend saw him walking with that woman holding a little toddler, dressed neatly and speaking German fluently. Everyone said that man was lucky. Luck, they said. Shit, they told his story as a joke or something, I say, pulling out a cigarette and lighting it up. There is no such thing as luck. Do you know why that man spoke no other languages? Why he couldn't read nor write in Arabic even? He never went to school. Back in Syria, his family was so poor that since he was a kid, he worked as a shoe shiner on the street outside of a famous cafe. After years of shoe shining, you don't even need to look at the shoes you're scrubbing, so instead he would look through the coffee shop's glass door and watch the TV as he blacked his fingernails for a few coins. He couldn't hear what was being said on the TV, but he looked at the pictures, the movies, the TV shows, the news. His favorite show he didn't even know the name of. He couldn't even follow it well enough to understand the plot. All he liked was this blonde woman that was always on it. To make his situation a little lighter, he used to imagine marrying a beautiful blonde woman. He meditated on that idea for years as he shined people's shoes. He never told anyone because he knew that they would make fun of him, so he just kept it in his mind and heart. After a while, he grew up and those ideas faded away, but he had already planted them so deep into the realms of this universe that they were bound to manifest. He never knew nor even expected that there would be a revolution in his country. He never knew that he would refugee to Germany. He never planned that he would walk into that bar. He never intended to hit that woman, nor did he wait that she'll approach him, nor did he even imagine that it would work out the way that it had worked out. That, my friend, is the law of attraction. If you learn how it works, you can make miracles come true. People do it the whole time without realizing it, often attracting things that are not good for them or that they cannot handle. Some would meditate on having a particular partner in their lives, and when he shows up out of nowhere, they freak out like they have never asked for it. You only get what you ask for in this life, Noah, trust me. Always remember that, and be careful what you wish for, I say before taking the last drag, then flicking my cigarette away. There is one last sip of wine left in the bottle. I drink it, then put the bottle down inside. The calming breeze of Barcelona embraces us as we look upon the beautiful city. I pull out 2 rings with a cat symbol engraved on them. Putting one on and then handing Noah the other one, I say, "Put this one on. It will help us get out of here. But the only way this ring works is if you keep quiet the whole time." Noah puts his ring on, and as soon as he puts it all the way through, I push him off the edge of the window. Noah holds his breath and fights the urge to scream for the few seconds he fell down before landing on his feet unharmed. I follow him and land right beside him. "Meow, bitch," I say. We both start laughing. I really like this kid. I really do. "Why did we have to keep quiet?" Noah asks. "The law of correspondence." "What's the last time you saw a cat scream as it fell down a tree?" I answer. Noah smiles. He's beginning to understand the laws of the universe. The hypnotizing music gets even louder. I think the street artists are near. "Do you hear that?" I ask Noah. "Hear what?" he answers. "The music, boy." I start walking towards the music. "I hear flamenco music," I say as Noah races to follow me. I pull out a cigarette and light it up while walking. "You smoke a lot lately," Noah says. Well, it's very common while coming down from a cocaine binge, but telling him that right now serves him nothing. "Well, cigarettes are like that toxic friend we all have, the one that comforts us at our worst times. For a few minutes, they keep us company and help us pass the time, which is often all we really need. But as soon as they burn out, we go back to being lonely, a feeling that we now know that we can easily south away with the spark of a lighter. In the beginning, we never realize that our little friend is toxic. Every time we hang out with him, he passively hurts us a little bit, but at least we get a little comfort from his companionship, which overshadows the abuse. After a while, his comforting company becomes so familiar to us that we become so codependent on it that even though we know that our friend is slowly killing us, we just can't stop seeing him, I say. Noah just keeps quiet as we make our way through the busy streets of Barcelona. I keep walking towards the music as it gets louder and louder, and eventually we make it to the Plaza Real. We're all constantly sacrificing our lives just to feel a little familiar comfort. Often our biggest enemies are our own impulses, I add. I look around the square and there they are, in the middle of the park surrounded by countless people, 4 street artists sitting on the fountain playing hypnotizing flamenco music together. Noah and I walk towards the crowd and stand with them to listen to the music. It feels like the melody is telling a story on its own. Unbelievable guitar strumming techniques, sudden rhythmic changes, emotionally touching slow melodies, switching into fast-paced melodies that will make you feel possessed by unknown entities. Still, no matter how hard I try, La Rumba Catalan just can't be put into words. You have to hear it for yourself. "Do you remember this?" some woman says. I remember her voice, I don't know where from, but I remember it. I look behind me and it's the woman with the fancy dress and her husband from Paris. "Our first date," says her husband. They stand for a while listening to the music. "What happened to us?" she asks. The music is altering our current reality, pushing people to touch a different realm where nothing really matters, a dangerous realm if you're with someone you can't truly trust. Funny how people often trust who they shouldn't even get to know in the first place. Noah isn't even paying attention to anything. He's mesmerized. He is not ready to read energy at this level. The street artists start picking up the pace of the music, breaking into the bridge of the song they're playing. The woman with the fancy dress stands closer to her husband and grabs his hands. We were so in love ever since we got married. Ever since we put these rings on, everything changed, she tells her husband. He looks her deep in the eyes. You can see that his judgment is altered. I really miss you, the real you. Even though we see each other every other day, it's like we're not ourselves, he tells her. The woman takes off all the rings she has on her fingers and grabs them in her fist. Holy shit, I think it's happening. Do you want to start over? Right here, a new first date, no rings, no contracts. Just us? She asks him. The man with the fancy suit takes his ring off, and the woman throws her rings away as far as she can. The street artist's song finally hits its crescendo as all the melodies reach their peak. An almost euphoric feeling possesses the whole crowd. The man takes a deep breath, throws his ring away, grabs his wife, and passionately kisses her. It's happening. Come on, a tear of joy is all we need now. The woman breaks off the kiss and smirks at her husband. The street artists finish their masterpiece in an exceptional fashion, slowing down quietly after reaching the song's peak. The whole crowd starts clapping, including Noah. The woman with the fancy dress opens her fist and the ring I made her is still in her hand. She only threw the other rings away. The man with the fancy suit looks at her, surprised and heartbroken. I don't blame him because if I'm not going to lie, even I fell for it. We're going to start over, all right. The woman with fancy dress puts her ring back on and the facial expression on her husband's face suddenly changes. She got him. My sister, out of all the women in the world, you just had to have my sister. I hope that you have had your fun because you will never touch another woman in your life. From here on, you're my slave and nothing else. I'm going to take everything you have and just keep you as my pet. Whatever that you want, honey, the man with the fancy suit says. The woman puts a leash on him and drags him away. Holy fucking shit, I was not expecting that. Noah, come on, we need to go, I tell Noah, who's still clapping away with his eyes locked on the guitarists. I guess I shouldn't have given him that much wine. I walk in the direction the man with the fancy suit threw his ring, hoping to find it. Noah follows me, still unaware of what has just happened. There it is. I finally see the ring on the ground ahead of me. I walk up faster to grab it, and right before I put my hands on it, someone else grabs it first. I look up, and it's the bastard with the turtleneck shirt, and that mute fucker presses the ring between his thumb and index finger and breaks it into millions of pieces. We are fucked. Who's this? Noah asks. I quickly put on my Titan ring and look the turtleneck shirt-wearing bastard dead in the eyes. I went 3 months celibate to make that ring, I shout before kicking that fucker as hard as I can, throwing him flying all the way to the end of the park. I hand Noah another Titan ring and he puts it on. What the fuck is going on? Noah yells. No time to explain. I answer him. I see the bastard with the turtleneck shirt getting up and walking towards us. Run! I shout. Noah and I start running away as he follows us with superhuman speed. The Titan rings we have on allow us to match the physical abilities of the bastard with the turtleneck shirt, but we still can't beat him and he knows it. Noah is still trying to get used to his newly acquired power. I try to throw anything in my way, including people back at the asshole following us, slowing him down a little bit while trying to figure out a way to lose him in the crowds. There, Noah yells, pointing at the metro station ahead of us. Fuck yes, Noah. That's it, I say. I run even faster and Noah follows me into the crowded metro stairs. We push people out of our way as we race down the stairs looking back at that turtleneck shirt-wearing asshole far behind us. Jumping over the fences and the gates, we make it to the metro stand. What the fuck? I shout. The metro station's display says the next train will arrive in 3 minutes. What type of shit is this? What the fuck? Says Noah. Oh, fuck, he's thinking what I'm thinking. Fuck you, Hollywood. This is not how this was supposed to work. Movies taught us that the train should be waiting for us and leaving right before our enemy arrives, I say. What now? Noah asks as the man with the turtleneck shirt walks into the metro stand. Shit. Fight for our lives, I guess. That fucker starts running towards us, and as soon as he gets close enough, punch! I shout before both me and Noah punch him in the face, knocking him on the ground. I start stomping him with my feet, and Noah starts doing the same. We stomp him so hard the ground beneath him starts to crack. Then all of a sudden he throws us off him with a single thrust, sending us flying in the air away from him. Shit, this bastard is strong. Way stronger than I thought. I get up and pull Noah back up on his feet. We need a plan, Noah says as the bastard starts running towards us. Beat his ass, that's the plan, I yell before kicking that asshole in his chest. Noah jumps in the air and stomps him with his feet, and the ground cracks under them. He walks away from him, and as he slowly gets up, Noah rushes him and the bastard punches him in the chest, slamming him against the wall and leaving him struggling to breathe. Shit. Paranoid, I grab a fat homeless woman and throw her at him. Both fall down with the woman on top, and highly intoxicated, she pukes on that fucker's face. Oh boy, that got him angry. The man with the turtleneck shirt pushes the woman off him. He gets up, then pulls out a cloth and cleans his face. He throws away the cloth, then pulls out an athame blade. Oh, fuck, shit. Noah, I yell. Noah is still trying to catch his breath. The man with the turtleneck shirt puts his arms up like a crucifix and slowly walks towards me. I put my fists up. I can hear the sound of the train getting near. I look at the display and it says that the train will arrive in a few seconds. The bastard gets close enough to me and goes to slit my throat, but I grab his wrist. He tries to punch me with the other hand, but I grab his other fist too, dragging him and positioning him right in front of the railways. I've seen this in a movie, so let's hope this one works. The sound of the train gets louder and louder, and the man with the turtleneck shirt fights to get his hands away from me. Right before the train arrives, I jump and kick him in the chest with both feet, throwing him into the railways. He gets up and looks at the train about to crash into him. Please don't do a backflip like in The Matrix, I pray. He doesn't, and the train hits him with all its power, burying him into the ground and driving over him. I'm pretty sure he's still alive, but not strong enough to get out of there. At least not fast enough to catch us. Noah, quick, we have to leave! I yell at Noah, who finally gets up and runs with me out of the metro station. Chapter 5. A Sense of Karma's Innocence. I make it with Noah back to the streets of Barcelona as the police rush into the metro station. Quick, we need to get off the streets, I say to Noah as we both rush away. Who was that? Noah asks. If only I knew for sure. I don't know for sure. All I know is that he probably has a necklace hidden under his turtleneck shirt that makes it impossible for us to kill him. Only someone who also has that necklace can kill that fucker. On the other hand, why he wants to kill us is still a mystery to me, but if I would guess, he probably knows what we're trying to do and he isn't happy about it, I answer. Thank God. We finally find a Balkan bar. Come, we need a drink, I say. I walk into the bar and Noah follows me inside. I find an empty table and sit down as Noah joins me. Reiki, I yell. What does this ring we're making do? He asks. It's still too early for him to know. Way too fucking early. Reiki, I yell again. The bartender walks to our table and pours us 2 shots of Reiki. Just leave the bottle, I say with a sigh. He leaves the bottle on the table and walks away. I take my shot, then pour another one. Noah is just looking at his. I drink my second shot, then pour the third. Don't you think that maybe you have a problem with alcohol? Noah asks. I laugh out loud. I drink the third shot, then pour the fourth. I look at Noah, and he's still giving me a serious look. I guess it's my turn to open up. I sit back on my chair and take a deep breath. I played with fire. These bottles are not my problem, kid. They just keep me alive. I played with fire, Noah, and I'm not talking about the drugs either. I'm talking about the most dangerous thing in life, the strongest thing that you could ever feel. I played with love. Love is like heroin that is synthesized in your brain, then cooked up with hormones inside your body and shot right into a main line to your soul. Once you feel it, you spend the rest of your life trying to feel it again, trying to get a little taste, your little fix of love. We are all love junkies, whether we like to admit it or not, I say. Noah looks at me with all his attention. I think he needs to hear this as much as I need to talk about it. I drink my shot and he drinks his. All we ever want is the love that we crave. We can get all the love in the world, but we will always crave that one love that we once got a taste of, the love that we shiver at the thought of, that pure euphoric love. That's what shackles us, I add. Did you get your heart broken? Noah asks. I smile and pour us both around. What happened? We love and we get bored, Noah. We love and we get bored. And once we get that love that we have always wanted, even that stops feeling so special to us because what made it feel so special in the first place was the fact that we thought that it was impossible to find. And when we finally find it, after time, it feels like it isn't really it. We feel like we deserve something better or that our feelings weren't true. Slowly we get bored of it. It's until we lose it that we finally fully realize what we had. At the beginning, we talk ourselves into thinking that it isn't really that special. We feel like we can always find better just because we had it. We look down on it. Only after time passes and we burn every bridge between us do we realize that what we had was actually it. I haven't talked to my wife in 20 years, I say. I drink my shot while Noah just listens quietly. But I still consider her my wife even though we never got married. She is my soulmate. We got out of each other's lives. Actually, I got out of hers, but I never managed to get her out of mine. She lives in my heart and mind. For more than 20 years, I constantly checked in on her, just to make sure that she was all right. For 20 years, I could have just talked to her again, but instead, every time I talked myself out of it. If she wanted to talk, she'd contact me herself. Maybe she doesn't want me anymore. Maybe I will make her life actually worse. Maybe this is what she wants. Maybe she has actually moved on. I know that she can't forget me. I know that she remembers me every day with everything that I've given her to remember me by. But I always felt like going back to her would be a bad idea, even though it seemed like what we both needed, I say. Noah drinks his shot and I pour us another round. Just drunk call her right now. What's the worst thing that could happen? Noah says. I smile. That option became impossible. Impossible. I make the impossible happen to everyone, so why can't I do something for myself for once, I say. Then call her, Noah says. Well, I have a lot of magical rings, but none of them allow me to talk to the dead, I say. I drink my shot and look around the bar for a little while, then look back at Noah. He just stares at me with sorrow in his eyes. What are you thinking about, my friend? I ask him. I just think that love is pain, Noah answers. Everybody does because nobody knows what love is anymore. Do you know that love comes from your liver and not your heart? Linguistically in English, it's lover, liver. In German, it's Liebe, Liebe. The liver used to be the organ connected to love, and still to this day, many tribes in Africa still refer to their liver when speaking of love and loved ones. The heart, on the other hand, has always been connected to sadness. Since the dawn of humanity, people have held their hearts when they felt sad. However, as society evolved, people came to mistake love with pain. The way this came to be is because first love rarely lasts for long. It's always followed by a sharp heartbreak, so growing up, we usually relate love to that pain. And even worse is that as adults, we often use that pain to test whether we're in love or not. We're so emotionally broken as a modern society that when we feel emotional pain when thinking of someone, it is when we first become certain that we're in love. But by then, it's often too late. Love is not pain. Love is the emotion that warms up your liver and makes your skin glow. It's just that people keep getting heartbroken over and over again, every so often that they start to think that if the pain that comes from losing love hits the heart, then that's where love must come from. It's not. Love is not the cold, empty pain you feel in your heart. Love is a beautiful, warm emotion that makes you feel whole. Remember that, Noah, and remember what I told you earlier at the Devil's Palace about relationships. Because if you understand what love really is and how you can safely share it with someone, you could have the best experience this life could ever offer. Don't be like the rest of these broken people. Don't waste your life, I say. I won't, says Noah. I smile and look around the bar again, looking at everybody else. Look at everyone, my friend. They all have a device in their pockets that gives them access to all the knowledge in the world. But look at them. All they do is wait for that one text that they will probably never get, that one text that they got once and made them feel like life was finally complete. They spend their time stalking that one account, just hoping to see a post or a picture that will give them a little dopamine rush, too scared to text or comment because just seeing a shadow of that love makes them feel good enough. Don't be one of them. Don't be one of this brainwashed generation that doesn't even know what to believe. Too lazy to think, so they just copy false idols they have never personally met. Idolizing people they only see through a screen and doing anything they tell them to. Wasting the most important days of their lives, abusing their souls, consuming negative energy, going to parties where they trust nobody just to feel popular, pretending to like things they have no interest in just to fit in, and supporting causes they don't understand just be praised by others just as ignorant as them. Taking drugs they don't need just because they feel peer-pressured by musicians from different cultures and hooking up with strangers they don't even like just because others think that they're attractive even if they don't find them attractive themselves. Thinking that putting a condom on will keep them safe. A condom only protects your sexual organs. 90% of what happens during sex happens inside your head. Your sexual organs, the same as the rest of your senses, do nothing but stimulate your brain. If you want to have safe sex, then you should find a safe partner first because condoms are nothing but a tax on horny, dumb people, I say. This actually makes me feel good about myself, says Noah. Noah drinks his shot, then pours us another round himself, finishing off the bottle that was half full. Sorry to bring up your wife again, but have you never tried to find someone else? He asks. This ring, Noah, the one we're trying to forge right now. It will fix everything. It will help me find her once again, I say. I pick up my last shot, and so does Noah. For love, I say. For love, Noah echoes. We make a toast and drink our last 2 shots. You know that I have never met my father, and that's more than 20 years, but if he would show up right now and explain his absence to me like you did, explain how hard and difficult it was for him too. If he would tell me about this crazy, deadly, unbelievable adventure that he went through just to find me again and come back into my life, even though I won't be able to forgive him right away, I'd still give him a chance. And I'm sure your wife would do the same thing when you find her again, Noah says. I don't really know what has gotten over me. Maybe it's all the Rocky I drank, but somehow I can't control myself. Tears of joy fill up my eyes, and a tear drips down my face. This universe never fails to work its magic. Before I can even say anything, a portal opens next to our table. Come, Noah, it's time to go, I say. At the Devil's Palace, the first bowl starts burning and the gold starts to melt. You heartless whore, says the alchemist, laughing. Kyoto, here we come.